I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative, I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win, I'll take a stab. I wanna chase a bag, I want a way I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. Going down, I'll give up everything.
Welcome to Tuesday Night Talks, guys. This is, of course, Dave of Dave's Dimension, the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme in your home, your base for tech, toys, and talk. This is our new format for Tuesday nights where I'm inviting you, that's right, you sitting there in your computer chair, your gamer chair, your couch, your beanbag, whatever you're squatting on, guys. This channel, this stream is for you. Every Tuesday night, I am inviting anyone and everyone. If you have a YouTube channel, even if you've only done a video a year, if you have a Twitch, a Kick, Instagram, TikTok, hell, if you got an Etsy store you want to plug, this channel, Tuesday nights, is the place for you. I'm inviting anyone and everyone who's a maker of any kind, of any type, to come on and hashtag we grow together. I'm asking everyone and anyone to just message me either on Instagram at Daves_Dimension or at davesdimension78 @gmail.com. Send me your links, a thumbnail, your logo, your links, and we'll get you on, and it'll be all about you and your content. Now, originally we were going to have David's life on this week, but he had some life that came up. He had some family emergencies. He'll be coming next week. But this week we have a special guest, and it's no surprise guest. If you're a follower of the channel, you know this man. This man is, well, some might say a father, a husband, an educator, a brother, a content creator, founder of the Collector Safe Space, co-host, co-founder of the Outer Dimensions podcast, the Sentai Sensei himself. It's Dre. Now, before I bring Dre on, I want to tell you guys a little bit about him. I met this guy a couple years, going on, almost 2 years now, for a mental health stream that he was coordinating along with many other people in the community. It was me, Sleeping Collectibles, and a whole host of others. And after that stream was done, me and him were like brothers. We've co-hosted several streams together, a couple channels, just numerous channels, numerous fundraising events. This guy is literally my brother, and he has gone through a lot of changes himself. I had some life changes, the past 6 or 7 months. So does he. But just like anything, you keep on rolling. So I would like to introduce the man, the myth, the legend himself, the Sentai Sensei, Dre of the Collector Safe Space.
What's up, everybody?
Talks. Now, anyone who's watching, you're not going to be surprised by this. And watching, we got, of course, Rex and Effects himself, Millennium Workshop, saying, hey, what's up, bro? Well, we're doing the Tuesday Night Talks, and this week we're actually going to be featuring Dre. Now, also, anyone who's watching this right now, you can do me a couple favors. One, if you want any information on Dre, it's in the video description below. We have all of his socials, including the latest link to his latest stream that he held earlier today. His late lunch talks, talking about, what were you talking about? What is a grail, I believe it was?
Yeah, today, so the late lunch talks are going to be my Tuesday show because Wednesdays are no longer a thing because of work. So when we do it was lunch, but then I realized that because we're trying to potty train Rory and so many other things popped up, I was like, well, we're going to do late lunch with Dre from 3 to 4 o'clock. And they're going to be topics. So it's going to be half topic for 30 minutes. And the other 30 minutes will be toy news, just other things, whatever the chat wants to get into, we'll get into. Sometimes there may be guests that want to pop in and just chat with me for that whole time. Hey, Duff. So that's what it was. And today we
Rex,
talked about grails.
Rex, don't even worry about it, Rex. Family and safety first, man. If you hear
Oh,
some
yeah.
sirens, you need to take some shelter. You do that. You just catch this on the replay, my brother. You know you're going to be fine.
Dude, hashtag replay.
So, yes, we got, of course, wow, we're all in the same place at the same time. Hey, what do you think? Of course, we got Duffman's diorama, the man, the myth. This guy is a legend. The creations that he has made, just legend, just complete legend. But speaking of legends, you guys know every year I've been hosting the Stream for the Cure, and I have links for that as well. Stream for the Cure is a fundraiser where all the proceeds go to Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Institute. We're doing a 10-hour stream. I might even go longer. Giggity. Might go longer. All it is if you want in on the giveaways, it's a $10 donation directly to Roswell Park. The link is in the video description below. You're just going to donate $10, take a screenshot of that $10 donation, send it either to my email at davesdimension78@gmail.com or daves_dimension on Instagram. Send me that screenshot and your real first and last name and your screen name, and you're entered in on all the wheels. One $10 donation gets you in on all the wheels, guys. Okay, so please help me help Roswell, and let's stream for a cure and help me ride for Roswell this June. So it's just an amazing cause, guys. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And I guess you could say this Tuesday Night Talks is sponsored by Stream for the Cure and Dave's Dimension. But let's say hello to a few other people popping through the chat because he's so big. Greedo and a Speedo. Greedo, I think one of these Tuesdays I need to get you on. We got to do a deep dive with Greedo and a Speedo. Everyone's saying Duffman says he'll be donating tomorrow. Thank you, Duffman. Every dollar, every nickel, every dime goes a long way, and it's donating directly toward the donations go directly into the foundation itself, Roswell Park. So I have no handling of it. It goes directly to them. And you can donate as many times as you want, by the way. It's always a great time. So now everyone has people come on their channels and they like to throw this question and this question. We're going to do things a little different. Okay. Now we know Dre, he's been a very versatile collector, shifting his interests like many of us do, but also he puts his family first. And during his stream earlier today, he talked about how he was heavy into Super 7s for a hot minute, but then he was thinking of certain things, but then he kind of stepped back a little bit, kind of altered the route of his collecting so that he could take his family to Disney. Family first. And it's okay if you step away or if you change your tastes. It happens all the time. But I'm going to ask a few questions here. Dre, if you could choose 3 words to describe what collecting means to you, just 3 words of what collecting means to you. Now, as an educator, I think this is the perfect question for you.
That is 3 words that I would describe
and
collecting.
Anyone in the chat, if you want to join in and you tell me your 3 words of what collecting means to you, drop it in the chat. I would love to hear your thoughts on it as well, guys.
So Millennium wants to know my favorite color. My favorite color is blue. All shades of blue.
Including the Sasquatch kind?
Sure, because he's cool. He's good people because he likes sharks. 3
and
words.
What color do we have as a background?
Blue.
There you
Go figure. So if I have to come up with 3 words to describe collecting,
it could be
for me, I would have to say
3 things that come to mind, 3 words that you would use to describe collecting. Am I stumping Dre right now? Jeez.
Fun would be the first one. I'm gonna go with the verb.
I love what Greedo said. So damn expensive.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I would say it is an expense. number one, I would say I'm gonna go with that one first. It is an expense, and it's an expensive hobby, but I feel more along the lines when you say it's an expense, it's it's a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all know, you can make or break a collection based on what you choose to do with it. Like I made a choice recently with getting rid of several major pieces within my collection. Going
Mm-hmm.
around the number was, I think, close to like $1,400 I sold
So
off.
Millennium actually said, "What is your favorite color? Name that movie." I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. If you were saying if you're saying my favorite color is blue, but I don't know the movie that's in, so that's an interesting thing. If you're talking about Twister, that you guys are chasing tornadoes, that'd be Twister, not Twisters, the remake. But that's a different story altogether.
Different
Uh,
twisters.
exactly. The second part of that, I would say for me, it has to be fun
Fun. Okay.
because, uh, I want to enjoy what I get. I
Speaking of
use
grails, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, he says. There you go.
ah.
Ha
So
ha.
so when people ask me, like, do you like, I used to be an inbox collector for a very long time, and my friend Tommy made a very big joke about it with me one day. He made fun of me. He was like, Dre, your toys are suffocating in their boxes, and that really worked on my nerves. Like I got mad at that because I had statues in my where I used to,
Mm-hmm.
when I lived with roommates, I had statues all over my room. And I mean, we're talking like 300, 400, $500 statues just sitting in my room, and I
Yep.
didn't care. But like my action figures were boxed up in my closet, and I then became an out of box collector, and I love
See?
it because I get to play with the figure and hold it, and that's the fun aspect of it. And when you have kids, it's even more fun because, like Rory, she'll ask questions. She'll be like, "Ooh, Papa, can I see it? Can I hold it?" And like I'll let her hold the figure momentarily, or I'll let her see it, and it's sharing in that. And I think the last the last word I would use is community. Um, and I know that's a very dirty word to say in this day and age, with toy
Did
collecting,
you
because
just use the C word on my stream?
I know I used the C
Oh
word.
God.
It was like, it's like cussing. Ooh, but when I say community, I really mean it. Like I would have to say my my current iteration of what I'm doing with the channel, what I've created with an Instagram with yourself and the group, we've done, a lot. And I think the community aspect of it is what draws me still to do the hobby,
Mm-hmm.
because I remember when I was younger, I didn't collect, I just got stuff. But
Yeah.
then it's like, what's the difference between that and hoarding? Because at that point, you're not sharing your love with the community. You know, I've made friends, I've made enemies,
Mm-hmm.
unbeknownst to me. You
We,
know,
we we both have.
yeah, exactly. And to me, I think that community has, one, helped me build not
Mm-hmm.
just what I'm doing, but I get to continue the love of what I do, and it's become a part of, you know my life in a small way, but still a big way, because I have very close friends and brother like you.
Yeah.
When you look at like Cobain Games, Duffman, Rex, Millennium Workshop, several other people we know in the community I talk to daily, you know, Ruben, Captain Spaulding. I mean, I can go down the list of everybody. I think that those are the three words I would say: expensive, fun, and then definitely community.
So let's go ahead and take a look. Duffman says enjoyment, nostalgia, and addicting. I mean, the enjoyment definitely. Maybe you get those figures, not the exact figures you had as a kid, but the new versions of those characters. And of course, with time, you get more details. I mean, GI Joe is a straight. I mean, for me, this is quantum leap, no pun intended, to what the old 3 3/4 Joes used to be, right? And the nostalgia, the enjoyment in this nostalgia for me, and yeah, it gets pretty addicting because you get those completionists out there, or you get those people like, oh, I'm waiting for them. Like for me, I was waiting for them to do a GI Joe vamp. They did the GI Joe vamp, and I was like, damn it. And I pulled the trigger. I don't usually do pre-orders. You know me, I almost never pre-order. but I have several pre-orders in the pipeline right now. So now Millennium says addictive, satisfying, and heartbreaking.
Yeah, heartbreaking. I think I could agree with on some sense when you're
You know,
hunting for that grail, and it's just
FOMO
the price, and the FOMO. Well, FOMO, I don't care about FOMO anymore because there's
or
nothing. If you don't pre-order it now, you wait for the
or you
aftermarket.
get you get that jackwagon who's got 6 of an item, 6 of a figure in their cart. It's like, okay, I can see 2 or 3. Maybe you're getting one for your buddy, but you want that one to rock and the one to stock, right? One to keep on the shelf in the box, one to have out. But then he also follows with rinse, lather, repeat. And of course, Greedo, that's what Greedo tells the chicks. It can breathe in the Speedo, let it breathe. It can't breathe in the Speedo, let it breathe. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Left Coast Graphics. His moniker, hashtag let them breathe. So please let them breathe. Duffman says plastic crack. Yes, it is. And Nostalgic Toys. Hey, what's going on? We're doing the Tuesday Night Talks, and this week, of course, we're featuring Dre, the Collector Safe Space, the Sentai Sensei himself. Now, also, again, if anyone out there who's watching this either live or on replay, if you want to be featured on Tuesday Night Talks every Tuesday night on my channel, all you have to do is just message me on Instagram, either at Daves_Dimension or email me at davesdimension78@gmail.com. All the socials are in the bottom of the video description below, but don't forget to check out all of Dre's socials in the video description below. We have a Maven in the chat. We have a Maven of Madness here.
Hey, Bree. I was just talking to her earlier.
Everyone's saying hey to Bree. The Outer Dimension podcast said hi to Bree Nostalgic. Dre of the Collector Safe Space said hi to Bree Nostalgic. And for some reason, Dave's Dimension said hi to Bree. I don't know why. She's laughing away. And of course, Nostalgia says, great review of Gene figure. Thanks. I appreciate that. I really haven't done review videos for a while because, well, things have been a little bit crazy this year so far. And also, well, I really don't get the reviews. I don't get the watch time. I get a handful of a few reviews. So they really haven't been something featured on the channel. Dre's doing a little flex right here with his SH.
Oh no, these are Mafex. These are the
Those are Mafex. Okay.
Yeah, these are the Mafex.
He's got his Mafex Gene and Scott.
Yeah, and
or as I like to call it, Phoenix and the Faker.
Don't mess with the
punk.
Summers. Don't mess with the Summers family.
If you mean Gene and Cable, sure, I'll agree with that.
Nah, man.
Cyclops
I'm not gonna spoil episode 8, but
yeah, I saw episode 8.
I was very impressed with that. That was
and for the second time, Cyclops got a convertible.
And they had it for 30 seconds and they lost it. So
yep.
But
so and those that just missed, our first question was, what are 3 words that toy collecting or toy figures make you think of? What are 3 words that come to mind? And Dre was bringing up, the nostalgia of it,
No, I said expense. It's
expense.
expensive. It's expense because you have to know what know your pocket. Like, I hate when people are, one of the big things, and I guess there's a caveat to that. Fig Fever. One of the big things that works my nerves is that, like, there'll be YouTubers that are toy collectors, but they just go for the fads and they blow their pockets, and then they're selling their stuff like 2 months later on Mercari.
We're not going to mention any names.
But. Oh no! I mean I was watching I was watching. I'm gonna mention one. I'll say Seth. Seth is a great YouTuber. I love Seth. I've had him on my show several times.
Yeah.
And
well,
I love watching his content, but like I know that he will change his collection very quickly. He'll get into the fad and then get out of the fad. So
well, see, I can agree with that, okay? Because there's a few people out there who they get an item because it brings them the nostalgia, but then then again, priorities change. Maybe they have an expense that they need to take care of their family first. Maybe there's a surprise phone bill or a surprise medical bill for a kid. So like, you know what, I got this hot toy or I got this item, and you know what, do I really need to keep it in my collection? I think I could still be happy with my collection if I move this higher priced item out.
And I've done that.
And you know what, there are also a lot of people out there who, what they do is they buy items on a regular, but then you know what they do, they'll go ahead and they'll say, you know what, I'm not really feeling Black Series, so I'm going to sell some of my Black Series, and they put that money back into their collection to fund their collection. I'm all for that. I know our brother Yukon Phil has talked about that on many occasions.
Many times.
I know Sleeping Collectibles has done that many a times. He's the master of the friggin' back alley deals. I mean, he's got himself a couple of hot toys for less than
$100.
like around
Thanos,
100 or so.
Yeah, you got that
I
Thanos.
mean,
Lucky.
you can't hang on a brother for that. I mean, if there's something like, you get something like, you know what, I'm not really feeling that as much, and you set it aside, you say, hey, I'm going to take it to my comic book shop, I'm going to take it to a local toy store or a flea market or a con, and you're going to wheel and deal. There's nothing wrong with that. But there are some people out there, let's be honest, there are some people out there, they overextend themselves.
And that's been a lot of the collecting community, and that's where a lot of the toxicity comes from.
Yeah. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of, ire, I guess would be a nice word to use. A lot.
I think Figure Fever said it best. It's buyer's remorse, and I think that does happen a lot. You do see that a lot, especially now,
especially with Hasbro.
Well, it's not even just Hasbro. I think it was like Jada Toys. Jada Toys right now is hot, and I get it.
Yeah.
I love Street Fighter. I love what they're doing with the Mega Man
you and I
stuff.
have had those conversations about Jada Toys on like the RoboCop ones. Like, I still I didn't jump on them, but I kind of felt like I should have, because I think they definitely have value.
That was
there.
Haya. That was Haya.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Haya.
Jada's doing like a lot of the video game nostalgia.
But it's nice to see.
Which is good.
It's nice to see like a second or third tier. Let's just say, now I don't mean as a pun or a diss on them, but it's nice to see some of the lower echelon companies, taking that step forward. Because let's be honest, you get a big company like there you go.
Haya Toys,
flexing.
No, this is Haya. This is this is the Haya Toys Rambo First Blood PX exclusive. And I'm gonna tell you guys, this is a great figure. I've seen it reviewed already. Again, Haya Toys knocked it out the park, and they have a license for several older like movies, like what was it, Universal Soldier, I think was one of the other ones that I have too.
Nostalgic Toys is asking, hot toys require maintenance, don't they? To an extent, they like, if they're soft goods, you definitely need to have like
climate
maybe
control.
Well, I would say climate control, but also about maybe like the condensed air cans, like once a month, just kind of spray them, or like a lint brush for some of the fabrics to make sure you don't get like dust and dirt, adhering to it.
It's like Mezco. If you have a soft suited Mezco, part of the reasons I got rid of Moon Knight was because Moon Knight's soft goods, when I would pose it, you couldn't really do any sort of pose, like dynamic poses. They were very static, and if you moved it too much, even with Black Panther, who I love Black Panther, I haven't taken him out of his box because you cannot pose him except maybe in two different poses, and it stinks because of the soft goods. And Hot Toys, the older versions of Hot Toys, they were doing that. I would say the more current, and I'm saying that because I have 5 examples right here of current ones that are within the last, I would say
only 5.
Yeah, and we're not going to even talk about what I was looking at today, but I digress. There are several, like this Spider-Man, the Friendly Neighborhood one. That's a soft good suit, and I love it. I can't wait to I've seen the reviews. Can't wait to unbox them. Spider-Gwen's the same way, and same with Miles.
Well, see, that was a good thing about Spider-Man 2099. He really wasn't soft good. He had that molded rubber suit, so that was actually pretty good.
It's a good question. I guess I could. What do I look as far as grade?
what do y'all look for as far as grade, quality, or purchasing? What do you all perhaps?
Oh God, what do y'all? She's Southern. I let that one go because I say y'all too. I've been
Uh,
down here long enough.
as far as grade, quality, or purchasing, Dre, I'm gonna let you go first because I know you talk about grade, you talk about quality a lot. So
I
go
do.
ahead.
All right. So for me, when I look for use guys, when I look for and I'll use Miles for an example. Miles is a perfect example. There were people selling just the suited body, the 1/6 scale, just the
Yes.
suited body, no head, suited body for like $50. And to me, I'm like, man, that's a person that took it out the box. They've messed around with it. They're probably kit bashing a bunch of stuff on it. That's not what I want.
Or selling the parts off
Or selling parts
individually.
off, because it broke. That's what I thought. So David, I went to Dave because I stopped shopping on eBay a long time ago. And Dave was like, "Hey, take a look. You never know, you might see something." And then I had several people within the community reach out to me and say to me like, "Hey, don't buy from sellers under this percentage because they may try to like hose you." And I have to admit, in my three purchases off of eBay, I was floored at the service. I was floored at how good it was, and the items were exactly what they said. So pricing to me is key. Obviously, if it retails for, we'll say, Spider Gwen retails brand new
Yeah.
$400, right? To me, I had built a budget up to spend on those two hot toys of that much money. So I didn't want to destroy my budget just on buying one brand new.
Yeah.
So I had to hunt the guy down that was selling it. That literally all he did was open the box, look at it, and then seal it. And when I saw that, that was enough for me. Looking at his reviews, and I do my due diligence to try to look at the seller reviews, look at the buyers,
Yeah.
what they're
As much
saying
as you can. Yeah.
exactly. And what that led me was to say, hey, at that point, if I can get this for 50%, which it was, I think it was 210 plus $15 shipping. So 225 for a $400 hot toy. That was still brand new. Just all it was inspected. And Miles was displayed, and it's the DX Miles, and that's the DX Gwen, which those are $400 to $600 when they were retailing, and what they're going for now because of rarity.
Degeneration
So
X.
so I so when I look at things, I have to look at what I'm looking at specifically, and that's a higher tier. Like Ruben said on my stream earlier, this is a higher tier of collectible. This has resellability if I needed to. Would I get rid of the Miles and the Gwen? Probably not, because those I hunted for forever. But my Spider-Man, if I had to, he can go
Yeah.
and I'll get him back. But the resellability is high with Hot Toys and their statues because Sideshow just
Yeah.
creates that. So
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with you on it. They make some. I mean, Hot Toys itself is such an amazing brand. I was fortunate to have three at one point. I have none. Uh, but that goes to like our earlier discussion. Sometimes you have bills.
life,
Sometimes you have medical things that happen.
that was
Um,
life.
that was life. But recently, now, like Dre was saying on eBay, he's surprising at the service and the quality you're getting there. There are a lot of great sellers out there. There are a lot of great sellers out there. There's also a lot of not so great sellers. I found a Flash Hot Toy for like 187 or so, right? And that seems like a steal. Now, when they're trying to charge you $100 in shipping on top of it, and then sales tax. No thanks. I would be paying about $300 for that when I could still find it through others like a comic book shop for like 240 or 250. There's even an online platform which is more like looks like if Barnes and Noble put their skin over eBay. Okay, I
Oh
found
God,
I've
is that A Books? Because my wife loves that
it
website.
it might be but that's the thing, like sometimes when I sold my Hot Toys, I sold them for less than I paid for. Sadly, it's sad but true. It's a thing. It is a thing because people will try and lowball you. I will say this: if anyone out there is trying to purchase something like through Facebook Marketplace or Macari, anything like that, I'm going to say this. You want whoever's selling it to write today's dates and write your name on it or something to show you that this is a live photo, and you can ask them, can you show me all the accessories to make sure you're getting everything you should be getting, and you can compare that to a Google search of that hot toy or that 1/6 scale item or whatever you're purchasing, and compare what Google's showing as should be all the accessories compared to what they're providing as well. And depending on the person's circumstances, you can even talk some people down prices. Trust me. If someone's caught in a pinch and they need to move something fast, you can probably get yourself a little bit better deal, or even bundling a few items to get yourself a better deal. There's things around that, but I would say, in closing, if you're going to do a purchase like that, do PayPal and do goods and services. I recently was about to be screwed, but because I did goods and services, I got my money back. So, communication is key, and just for lack of better wording, covering your butts.
CYA.
Don't take chances.
I will say this with Dave. Dave was the one that really put me onto it, because I wouldn't have made those sorts of decisions. But he's right. You got to just be careful about what you're spending, and there are good sellers on eBay, and there are good sellers on Mercari. You just have to dig for them, and you know what to look for. If you guys need help with that, we will definitely. I'm reachable, and Dave and I will give you the 411 on that.
And I'll say this: there are a lot of Facebook groups, especially for 1/6 scales. There's no harm in asking for references.
Oh yeah, in everything.
If the seller says, you're asking for references, I'm not going to sell to you. Well, that's on them, because you don't know Jack from Jill. Okay, you don't know them, so you don't know how trustworthy they are. Now, if someone happens to say, yeah, this seller's, I bought X amount of items on them, then yeah, go ahead, jump on it. Bree wants to know, what is your favorite find, Dre? What is your favorite find of all time?
That's
let's do this. How about your top 3?
2 of them are right behind me.
Miles and Gwen.
Miles and Gwen. Those are my top 2 right now.
Okay.
Just because, like I said, I got rid of. So for context purposes, I will explain it like this. My local shop, like everybody knows, I talk about Rebel Base Comics here in Charlotte. They're amazing, and the owner of the store has hooked Dave up. Whenever I've looked for Joe's for Dave, he always will put some on the side for me. He's always done right by me and my family. And recently I had asked him, I said, hey, if you ever run across, because he does some consignment too. He'll get hot toys or things that people are trying to move, but it's so big and expensive that he can't move it. So I'd asked him, I said, hey, do you think you might find a Miles hot toy or a Gwen hot toy? And he's like, no, dude, those are like ridiculously, they move so quick. So David said, go look to eBay. After parting with several hundreds of dollars of like Black Series and Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, McFarlane's and Marvel Legends and Joe's, I was like, all right. When he said, here's what it is, I had a bunch in my hand, and I went to eBay, and that's when I went and I got Gwen got delivered first, and that's
ladies first, of course. There you go.
It was funny. They shipped on the same day, but Gwen got here first. Gwen was delivered first, and then Miles was delivered a few days later. And when I opened up Miles, I literally cried, because I remember how excited I was in 2018 to want to get it. But because of just money and needing to get a car and dealing with so much other stuff at that time, it was just not in the budget,
And I'm sure part of it is also not just, I got this collectible. I'm sure it's not just that. The character for someone like yourself. I mean, you're you come from a Latino background, right?
If you guys couldn't tell, I'm Black, Puerto Rican, and Persian.
Yep.
So he fits in right in my demographic.
Miles is Hispanic and African American, and he's not just a Marvel hero who is Hispanic and African American, but he took on the mantle of Spider-Man. I mean, that was I'll say this. I'll say that is akin to Batman Beyond in my eyes,
Oh yeah.
because we had this teenage unknown who found himself in a situation, and he took on the mantle of this iconic hero. And that's what Miles did in the Ultimate Universe. So I mean, it's I'm sure that it's not just getting the collectible, but getting the collectible of a character that you love, that you associate with, and you probably envision a younger version of yourself being Miles. Let's
Oh,
be
100%.
honest.
Well, I mean, I loved Peter
So
Parker growing up, and I loved Bruce Wayne, but I wasn't rich, and
yeah,
to me, it's like I always look at it like Spider-Man was always that character I always could go back to,
yeah.
even through the years. I've loved Spider-Man and always have, and my daughters love Spider-Man. Both my girls, my son loves Spider-Man. Exactly. Like there's so much. My wife bought the
I
hoodie
mean,
to look
s-
like Spider-Gwen. It's like we have so much love in this house for
yeah.
Spider-Man that it's like,
I mean, Spidey was that hero on a budget. He was always sewing his uniform after he came back. His webbing. He was selling his photos to Daily Bugle to make money for his webbing or to fix his web shooters. He was that hero on a budget. Nobody was helping him.
sounds like me.
Basically. So
So
I mean, there's that.
I'm trying to find the third thing. Well, that's why I'm looking, folks. So I'm digging through stuff. So
So
pardon if you,
you're looking for your third find of all time.
yeah, I would say, well, not of all time. I would say in recent,
Okay.
I almost would throw it to my Cap Hot Toy, but I already knew I was going to get that. Like that was kind of a
Yeah.
throwaway, so I'm not going to use that. But I
I
will.
mean, I had the cap Endgame.
I need that one.
I
That's
had
the
that
one.
one at one point in time. I would love to get my hands on it again, even if it's not complete. I would love to
Uh,
get my hands
I'm
on
getting.
it, but
I'm getting
it's
it.
because Captain America, he's that hero. He's that person who was just a kid
From
who,
Brooklyn.
he was,
No, from
yeah,
Queens. From
yeah,
Queens.
who,
No, sorry, Brooklyn. Brooklyn. He's right. It's Brooklyn. My
yeah,
bad.
yeah, because he never backed down. Yeah, this is before he got super soldier serum. You know, he held his morals, and when he did get power, he didn't change. A lot of people have even said, if you notice, even in the cinematic world, he never said, "Oh, I'm Captain America." No, I'm Steve Rogers.
Yep.
He
Even
kept his humility.
and
He was
Sam
always
Wilson
a
does that
beacon of
too.
hope. And yeah, I mean, hell, even Thor knew that he would, that he was worthy to pick up the hammer. Because when he finally did, he's like, "I knew it." It's Cap is just that thing. I mean, I have a whole shelf of Captain America figures.
As do I.
Uh, it's just it's a thing. I would say my three finds.
Wait, I didn't get my third.
Well, okay, there you go. That's your
Gotchard. This is the Gotchard driver. So for those of you that don't know, I'm a huge Power Ranger, Sentai
Sentai.
and Tokusatsu lover.
Yep.
And for this belt, it was damn near impossible to find till Big Bad Toys put them up for pre-order.
Hmm.
And I was like, yay. And the show is amazing because it's based on alchemy. And I got so into it, like, here, I'll give you guys a
Full Metal Rider.
wish. But for those of you, these are the cards. Like these are actually, it's a box of cards. I have to open these that you
Hmm.
can put in the driver that shows the different transformations. Then um this is attachments. Sorry, I forget that the Japanese version's backwards. So this is an attachment for the driver. There's another one coming in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's
I
kind of like
just
the cards are like the power coins for the morpher, so to speak. If
exactly.
we,
It's
if we want to do a
it's
old school
exactly that.
comparison.
And this was actually Dave knew that when I wanted to get back into um doing more of this stuff because I was just not
Hmm.
interested in Marvel Legends anymore. This is my bad boy. I can't wear it because I have to buy belt extenders because this is meant for children. But they did make it for the adult cosplayer, so you can actually get adult straps. They cost about 25 extra bucks on Amazon. So I do have to purchase like a set for me to wear it. But yeah,
Okay,
that would be my third find.
so for me, I didn't have much as a kid. Still don't have that much now, but I think I have a decent little moderate collection. As far as finds, I sold a few of my finds a couple years ago. I had and this is one of them. Okay,
Legacy Morpher.
this is the Legacy made by Bandai, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Green Ranger, White Ranger, Morpher. This is all made of die-cast metal. None of that plastic Hasbro crap. And when you're holding this thing, I mean, you feel like you're in the show. This thing is heavy. You could clock somebody upside the head with this if you really wanted to. This is probably one of my all-time favorites because when I was younger, the Green Ranger, Tommy, he was the OG. He was always going to be the best. I actually have this, and I have the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the original 5 Rangers. I have that Legacy Morpher as well. Used to have the Saba, and I had the Dragon Dagger. So I used to have the whole set. Don't anymore. Just have him and the Legacy Morpher for the other Rangers. That's one. I'd probably have to say a second find. Second find is one I'm trying to reacquire, which is the Hot Toy CW Flash. I had him and 2 other Hot Toys. I hate you.
I had to find the picture.
I do have an autograph of him. I just don't have a picture with him.
Yeah, my wife. Lana was in 4th grade when we got this picture. Yeah, 4th grade. No, younger than that. 3rd grade. 3rd or 4th grade, and we took this picture. This was our first picture we took together at GalaxyCon. So
yeah,
I had to find that and show it. That's why I love it.
Yeah, Archer's saying Legacy pointed out how the figures sucked, and I forgot about that, but the role play was amazing. Yeah, their role play was great, and I set this up the way they did in the show. Velcro. That's how they kept the coins in the morphers.
Well, actually, if you go to Target's actually, this is I found this at a random Target the other day, or this is about 2 weeks ago. They are Bandai, more of the Japanese Bandai stuff is starting to come over here, especially if you love Demon Slayer. Tanjiro's sword, and I think Zenitsu's swords were released here, and it was all Japanese on the box. I was like floored by that.
Oh, we got Megan in chat, Mega Demon. Saying hello.
So I was just surprised that I found that.
One of the youngest Ghostbusters around, Carlos, saying hello in the chat, saying he's late. So CW Flash was another. I mean, to call it Grail is the character of the Flash. Is I've always loved the character of the Flash, even going back to the '90s TV show, and going back to Justice League Unlimited. He was voiced by Michael Rosenbaum, who was actually Lex Luthor on Smallville.
Man, it was awesome.
But the Flash was a hero before he was a hero. He was a crime lab tech in the police department because his father was wrongfully sentenced to prison for the murder of his mother, which he did not do. But he wanted to prove his father's innocence. That's a hero right there, never giving up, pushing yourself as far as you possibly can, and then he gets struck by lightning and becomes the fastest man alive.
Well, he gets struck by lightning and hit those chemicals.
Yeah. And the CW iteration of it, I think, cemented the legacy even further, because the original live action TV show, it only lasted, I think, 2 or 3 seasons on CBS. Because I actually have, it didn't last that long, but this one, the CW, lasted 9 years, which was amazing. I thought Grant Gustin did a great portrayal, but the Flash Hot Toy itself had so many accessories.
It looked awesome.
It had so many Easter eggs and touchbacks to things that happened in the show that, to me, it was one of my favorite pieces. I do want to get it again, and I'm hoping maybe sometime this summer I'll get that chance. We'll see what happens.
Well, my comic book store's got it.
Yeah. Well, I got New York City and a few other things to take care of first. So,
well, no, I know. I got GalaxyCon.
Nerd affiliated Archer saying that the Power Grail is the Power Sword is Grail. They go for like $800 right now. Yep. The original ones. We're talking about the Legacy Bandai ones. They definitely go for that much, and don't get me wrong, they're worth it. Personally, I think that the Hasbro ones, nothing against anyone who's collecting the Hasbros right now, but the Hasbro Power Ranger items, I think they're cheap. They look cheap, even though their lightsabers, I think, look cheap right now. So it's something that personally I'm against. Have I seen Ghostbusters Frozen Empire yet? Yes, I saw it when it actually came out. And now, coincidentally, Frozen Empire is now available on digital. So yeah, you can go to at the Apple iTunes store, you can go to Vudu, you go to Amazon Prime, and you can actually buy the digital copy and start watching it right now, guys. So do that after the stream.
And he was right. Was one season, 22
Okay.
episodes.
Yeah,
90 to 91.
But back then, for a TV show to get 22 episodes, back in the 90s was kind of big. For a first season, that's kind of a big deal right there.
And it's kind of a cult classic for a lot of the true fans of the show. I mean, I love the Flash.
I have it autographed by John Wesley Shipp, who is the original Flash, and later played Barry's father in the CW version, and of course Jake Garrick. Yeah, Duff Hasbro.
Honestly,
Hasbro for sure.
That was my comment last week when we did the first topic, was like all the people that were talking about domestic and international. I said Hasbro's just swirling the pot right now. They're swirling in the toilet.
Although, Archer, I am looking at maybe 3D printing some Ranger props in the future, so we'll see what happens. I even thought about doing a next generation Flash kind of cosplay, but just so like a sweatsuit, kind of like more casual. So have like the Flash emblem and doing some stuff.
Carlos, so who are you asking that to? Is it to me or to Dave? Because Dave, that's pretty much a given. I mean, it's a given. For me, honestly, it is. I think.
I mean, I have a proton pack right next to me right here.
Yeah, I mean, like I would say for me,
I have another one right here.
Yeah, and Dave and I are currently working. He's helping me work on my cosplay, which I have my driver. My driver's here. So the love I have for Ghostbusters is long standing. I've always been a fan of the cartoons, the shows, the toys. You know, my wife.
I'm right there with you, brother.
My wife surprised the heck out of me because I bought her Slimer and we have the Ghost Trap. And she's super, like, I didn't realize how into it she is. I even got her some stuff for Mother's Day that are Ghostbusters related. So,
okay.
But yeah, so Brianna's got another question.
Do you mainly collect Marvel DC or do you also collect anime figures as well? You're going to hate yourself for asking that question, Bree.
So, Bree, are you, Bree?
I'll be back in about 45 minutes while Dre goes over this question.
Oh no. I literally, these are just two that I have, and I have a whole lot more. I do love anime and manga, and so does my daughter, so does my son. I'm a huge anime nerd. I have oh Lord. I mean, here I could even show you this because I'm a huge fan of My Hero.
Oh, she says, OMG, I'm coming to your house. You're not that far from him.
Yeah. This is All Might. This is the version 1 Yamaguchi Revoltech All Might. I have the version 1 Eraserhead from the Revoltech line. I have Deku, Ochako, Shigaraki, oh god, was it Dabi? And my daughter, she loves Toga, Himiko, so she's got all the Himiko stuff in her room, and we both love Bakugo. So for anybody that's a fan of My Hero, like in my house, anime figures are pretty prevalent. Especially between me and my daughter loving the shows, it's not that hard.
And Bree, he's not that far because I mean he's met up with Aaron and Jen a few times, so that's
Oh yeah,
y'all could hang out, y'all could have a barbecue. So Dave, how do you have a proton pack? I built it. I have the HasLab proton pack right here that I'm actually modifying. I'm actually 3D printing new parts to make it look like Frozen Empire. And I have a 1-to-1. This was a raw kit that I painted, assembled, and put together. Lights up, full sound effects. I even have a Bluetooth adapter to it so I can play whatever music I want off my phone through the proton pack itself. So yeah, I have 2 proton packs. At one point in time, I actually had 4. So yeah, you could say I'm ready to go.
And I do have. There are other anime figures I do have. I have a statue my sister bought me of Hatsune Miku. I have my uh up. They're up here. I do have a Bishojo Black Canary that I absolutely love, 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 love. Um, I have. Good lord, I have a lot of anime figures, but I think I've gotten more from my daughter and my son because my
Listen,
son
his
likes
anime
Kirby.
figures have anime figures. What are you talking about?
Actually, that's remotely true. One of my figures does come with figures.
See?
Oh, not to mention I have Dragon Ball Z stuff. I actually have was it Chibi Goku, Frieza, Gohan. I've been getting most of the new SH figure arts because I love Dragon Ball Z. So,
And speaking of Dragon Ball Z, remember that photo I shared earlier?
hmm yeah, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, ladies, that's Hugh Jackman as Vegeta. Someone photoshopped the uniform, color coded it to make it look like Vegeta. I'm sorry, he could pull it off.
Uh,
I'm
he's
thinking
too
I'm
tall.
thinking
He's too tall.
Hugh Jackman is Vegeta, Cavill as Goku. There you go.
I can see that.
I can see it. I can see it happen. You know, it's a thing. So let's move on to the next topic. Okay. Dre is, as I said in the beginning, Dre is many things. Okay. He is a father, he is a husband, but he is also, he was an educator. You were a school teacher for many years, were you not?
17 years.
And what grades did you teach and what subjects?
Oof. I taught kindergarten or really pre-K. I did 5 years combined of pre-K. Sorry, I said 5 years of pre-K across 2 states. No, 3 states. Sorry, North Carolina, Virginia, and New York. I taught high school. I taught all 4 years of all four grade levels of high school. But I finished my my last 7 years
Mm-hmm.
of education in middle school. I did my first year. I taught sixth grade. I taught 2 years of eighth grade, and the remainder I did was 3 years of seventh grade.
Okay. Now, did you ever use your love of collecting and comics and for teaching? Did you
I did.
and did you find that the kids locked onto that, or they caught on to the lessons you were teaching a little bit more and more easier or more fluidly
I did,
than
and
people who don't take that approach?
so for me, what I did was when I got into education, there was a guy named Tim Smythe who I've interviewed on this channel. He really was an inspiration to me about bringing your love of comics and pop culture into the classroom. So much so that he's actually pursuing his doctorate degree on that topic right now. And opened up the doors to me to where in my state I have taught. I've actually done in their videos on the channel
Mm-hmm.
at several comic book conventions at the North Carolina Social Studies Council 2 years running. I did this panel and I was asked to come back a second time after that. So like the first time I did it, they asked me that. I didn't even have to
Mm-hmm.
put petition. They wanted me to come back. And this year, my wife and I are looking to do that for GalaxyCon to present because she's still actively teaching. So because of that, I do help her. Like
Mm-hmm.
I design classroom stuff for her doors and try to help. I'm actually helping a student. One of her students wants to do combined math and Dungeons and Dragons, which I think is a natural marriage. So for me, I'm
Yeah, I
like,
mean, yeah, the various dice you use, you got, oh, I need to do, like, okay, this person has this amount charisma or this much, such and such. What do I need to roll to overtake that or to get the desired outcome? So yeah, I could definitely see that.
so that's something that she actually just brought up to me while we were eating dinner tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's so easy. And she's like, yeah, but you suck at math. And I'm like, I do suck at math, but like, I don't suck at Dungeons and Dragons. I can figure that out. Like,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna write a primer. Actually, I'm gonna design a primer tonight to give so she can give it to one of her teachers. And this again, I could be charging for this stuff. I don't. I love teaching and I love
yeah.
using the love of pop culture to get kids interested in things. Because why not? If you
And
can meet kids halfway, they're more interested.
a lot of people, a lot of people might be surprised to know that you did teaching, but a lot of people, I bet almost, I'll probably say 85 to 90% of anyone who might be watching this live or in the future, you didn't know that Dre was going to be part of a panel at a con talking about this very same subject, both him and his wife.
Yeah, that's something new. I'm still waiting for the approval from GalaxyCon, but even if we don't, we still go to it every year. It's like
Yeah.
our family thing. So we love going, and it's a lot of fun. We actually got pictures with several celebrities last year. You know, the year like my wife the year before we saw was it two several years ago we saw Jason David Frank. Last
Yeah.
year my wife got pictures with oh God, what's her name? The Topanga. I can't remember her
Yeah.
name. But
Danielle
she got
Fishel.
Danielle Fishel, and then I got my picture with obviously, I don't want to take pictures out because Dave will get jealous at me. He got mad at me already when I sent the picture from the convention,
Well,
but
well,
Marina Sideris.
we might have some little competition going on. Fan Expo Canada, they announced a few people. The Armorer, also
I she
Giancarlo Esposito,
He's gonna be at GalaxyCon.
and the baddest Mexican alive.
Danny Trejo, he's gonna be at GalaxyCon too. I told Meredith I got to get a picture with him and
Listen,
talk about his
I
taco
told
truck.
my wife, I said, if I get a photo with anyone, it's got to be with him.
He's so
And of
awesome.
course,
He's a
she does.
Mexican.
Well, also, he was on the Flash.
Mhm.
He was Breacher on the Flash multiple times. So, I mean, he's to me. I mean, he's proof that you can turn your life around. I mean, he was a gangbanger. He did his
Oh, he was
time, came
in and
out.
out of jail.
He was
Yeah,
thrown on as an extra in a couple movies, and then Robert Rodriguez came across him, and you know,
the
that's all
rest
they
is
wrote.
history. Quentin Tarantino has used him in several films.
Oh yeah,
It's
Dust Till
amazing.
Dawn, and so many. I mean, he's been in everything, and like he just embraces it. Of course, he's got his taco trucks now. I mean, he's living his best life ever, man. I mean, he's pretty fit at his age. I mean, he's not Ernie Hudson's fit at 78, but he's still doing pretty good. So, um,
Eats his
but yeah,
tacos,
I
man.
mean, it's cool that a con is actually interested in getting or talking about education through fantasy or through fandom, and I think that's amazing. So I'm really pulling for you guys. I'm really hoping that definitely happens this year. Uh,
It's on the cards. If it's not, then it definitely is a proposal that I'm going to present next year, and it's something that
yeah,
I would love to do. And I know my wife is interested.
yeah.
She likes me. I'm more the face.
Well, you get a
She
larger
likes me.
con. You get a lot of larger cons where you are. For me, it's like maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours to go to Fan Expo. You know, New York City Comic Con. That's about 6 to 7 hour drive from where I am. So I mean, there's not really any cons that are really close. Even going to Cleveland, it's about 4 hours.
Well, we have two big
So,
ones. We have GalaxyCon that's in July, that's in Raleigh. We have
mhm.
Heroes Con, which has definitely now become a big staple here in North Carolina,
Yeah,
and that's actually right. That's only like like a 20-minute drive from my house
yeah,
on the highway to get there. But then, like, I'm 3 hours north of Dragon Con, Joe Fest,
yeah.
Toylanta.
Those
That's
are all
all.
the big ones, man.
And those are
Those are the big
that's
dogs.
yeah, those are 3 hours.
I
And
mean,
then if
we
you
have
really
Nickel
8
City
hours.
Con, which is really small. It's a small con compared to New York or Fan Expo. I'm not knocking it, but it's a small con.
And then what was it? The
But
big one, MegaCon in Florida. That
yeah,
one's like 8.5 hours away.
but Bree wanted to know, that is awesome, Dre. Dave, 4 proton packs. Yes, at one point in time, I had 3 Spirit Halloween 80% scale proton packs, and I had El Gigante. I had the one I built built from parts. I had to hand build myself. I had 4 packs at one point in time, but then I sold 3 of the packs because one, I needed some money to do. I needed some seed money to buy the HasLab when Hasbro did their HasLab run. So I sold my Flux pack and I sold my real Ghostbusters pack, and they funded the money for that. And then I had the 80% scale pack, which I really wasn't using. It was just sitting around collecting dust. So that's when I sold that one. So I sold 3 packs. So I was down to just 1 pack. And then I got the HasLab a year and a half later. So I'm back at 2 proton packs right now. And also, Carlos, I would But right now they're used up. I have to charge them up. You've heard of proton charging, so I got to charge the packs up. We got to make sure they're fully charged. They might have a half life of the power cells for about 5,000 years, but I still need to proton charge them first. So he yeah, he kept going up to auditions and never said no. Yeah, keep going. She said, "Oh, okay." How many packs is Archer? I've told you this. How many packs are too many packs? That depends on space.
And your wife.
You can hang them on the wall. You can mount them to a ceiling. You can keep one in the car. I mean, is there such thing as too many packs? If you have a garage, who knows? I mean, I understand you have an apartment, so you're like me. You might have some limited space, but hey, if I were to knock out all my Star Wars stuff right there, hey, that's plenty of room to put a couple more packs right there. I'm just saying, it's a thing. It is a thing.
And your wife, you damn right, bro. Like,
yeah. Well, see, Archer has to be even more careful because he just got married this year.
Exactly.
Right. So he's in that newlywed phase where she could pull a knife on him anytime. We hope not, but you just never know. I only have one on display and two in storage. But see, you only have 3 packs. You gotta get 4. You gotta get that 4th, right? You gotta get that 4th so you can have 4 Ghostbusters.
I mean,
That's how you roll.
Listen, didn't we decide this already in the group chat? Like, it's Archer, you, me, and Colin. We're the 4 Ghostbusters of the squad
Yep.
of the group. Like, we represent.
I mean, now that I'm 3D printing parts, man, it's over. It's over. So she does play with knives. Well, Archer, if I see you on a stream or an event and it seems like you're holding your arm a little too much, then I know what happens. Dre, have you sold something that was a hot item to get another hotter item?
Yes, I can tell you exactly what
And if you have, what was it? Oh, it was a 2-parter question.
So yes, I did, and it was ironically enough the remaining of my Cosmic Legions. They're very difficult to come by if you don't buy them through the Four Horsemen website. I know Big Bad Toys marks them up at least $10. I'd gotten mine through Four Horsemen at a show, and they were first edition runs, and I had some Mythic Legions parts that are very much sought after and very expensive, and those items sold enough to help me purchase those 2.
So Archer says he's ready to buy another full-size pack too for no reason. You see, the thing is, for the longest time I had 1 pack and I kept doing more and more modifying to it until pretty much it was just an 80% scale pack with like a full-size pack of parts filled inside. So I mean, you can keep modifying and modifying, but eventually you need to take that extra step further, Archer. So you got to be careful with that. I did the Bennett Kent pack, which is almost everything is resin. Everything is resin molded. It's heavy, but I think what you're hoping for is another warehouse sale so you can get yourself a HasLab. Do you, Archer, real quick, do you have a HasLab? If not, let me know, and maybe I might know someone who knows someone. Just saying. And Bree says, awesome, Dre. Let's see if we can get that. There we go.
Yeah, I try. Like I said,
But
I like to fund the collection to pay for the collection.
But Archer, Bree also said, sounds like she is fun because she plays with knives.
Oh, my wife's just crazy. I love her to death, but she said she's crazy. She said it, not me.
She's so crazy.
Oh wait, and like she was saying anime toys. I have like Kamen Rider sitting on my desk.
Yep.
So,
hey, didn't someone find you a Kamen Rider?
Oh, I do.
NYCC last year.
Oh, you mean? Sorry, he's still here. He's on my desk. You mean 01?
Yeah, Archer. If you're into anime, I got that at Dre at the Bandai experience that they had down there.
Yeah,
Um,
that
I
was
don't
awesome.
have one. I'm holding out faith that they will release a new one, repainted to be clean or RGB. Now, I know there are plenty of people who've actually stripped down the HasLab pack, painted it brand new to make it look RGB, because it did include the or not RGB, but Ghostbusters 1, because it did include decal stickers in order to do it. I'm slowly doing some of that, but I'm turning my HasLab into a full blown Frozen Empire. So I'm going to be redoing my wires that I have going on the outside of the pack. And now that the movie's on digital, I'm going to blow up those images to some finite details and take it a step further. Sounds more and more like more and more unlikely as time goes. Yeah, because even you said, Hasbro said that they are not a toy maker; they are a game manufacturer. So what's this? No, for the price I want it clean out of the box. Remember when I had the idea for a base model with no bells and whistles? I'm hoping it happens. I mean, there's a lot of things going on out there. I mean, that's why yours truly is planning to 3D print a proton pack, not just parts, but to fully do one. But Dre, if you, as a collector, let's say some mysterious person says, "Hey, I'm going to give you a blank check to create a toy line. You can do price is no object. Don't worry about legal issues. If you could create your dream toy line, Dre, what would it be? Think of one IP. You can't, we're not talking like the Motu Ninja Turtles or any kind of funky stuff like that. If you could either make your own toy line after an IP that already exists, one IP, or is there an IP in your mind you would like to create an original one?
There has been, and I've seen people do work on. There's an IP that recently was
Intellectual property for those that don't know.
there was an IP that they did, which was kind of like a take on like Power Rangers, not Power Rangers, but the Common Rider, where
Yes.
they did like it, I know Big Bad Toys it was a Kickstarter and it
Hmm.
failed. It didn't go anywhere. But I always said if I had like a blank check to give to them and be like, hey, can I be a backer for you guys? Like, let's do this. I would love to expound on that universe. Like, how did these people gain their powers? Riders derived from bugs or animals
Uh-huh.
or from an idea, and is with all the years of D&D and comic book loving and superheroes I was always thinking like it'd be cool to design a common writer base universe and then create like figures that were modular that you could take pieces from and add them to other pieces, like so you basically would be able to like say instead of having a writer that has all five forms, you'd be able to create your own. So like instead of me having Xaid right here,
Yeah.
Xaid, I'd be able to get instead of buying this particular figure, which I did and it broke, which I'm sad, but I'd be able to attach these pieces and make a modular action
Okay.
figure.
Kind of like the old there was an old 80s cartoon which had its own toy
Centurions.
line called Centurions.
Yes, something like
So
that
kind
with
of like
6-inch scale.
taking a Sentai twist to the Centurions kind of concept. Like say,
Mhm.
for more American audiences, like that would be like saying, "Hey, I want the Dragon Shield from Green Ranger, and I want to combine that with Saba, and I want to use the Spiral Saber from In Space." And I want to have the helmet of this person. It's kind of like combining the armors and maybe the powers, so
And
to
kind of
speak,
what
to get
they
a power up.
so what they've done like in the Boom Studios comic line that just
Hmm.
ended, like something like that, where but not Power Rangers, but Common Rider. So
Yes.
and I think that that'd be really a dope idea to see and actually have it in hand. Again, is it something I don't think we'd ever see,
Hmm.
but it'd be cool to witness. Um,
I mean,
I do not have a proton pack yet because we don't have the space in the house for it. That's the only reason I don't have one. And also the spirit store that I went to, there was only two
yeah,
here in
they're
Charlotte,
getting harder and harder to find now.
and they did not when David recommended for me to go, I went and they were completely sold out. So
Yeah, I mean they are a very hot commodity because they've been improving their packs over the past 3 or 4 years now. Um, I mean, I would love to see that. And who's to say that maybe Boom Studios couldn't do something like that?
I was hoping Boom would actually get the license to do more Kamen Rider because
Hmm.
I think it was Udon Comics that started doing the Kamen Rider, but the translations weren't good, so that they stopped the line. And I was more hopeful that we would see something like Boom Studios step in and say, "Hey, man, we did such a success for Power Rangers here. You know, why couldn't we
I
do
mean, they,
Kamen Rider
I
or
think they
Big Bad
definitely proved
Beetleborgs?"
themselves.
You know,
Writing, art, I mean, story development. They took the Power Ranger concept, which, let's be honest, the original series it's so cheesy. Even today, you can look at it, and yeah, it wasn't the greatest acting, it wasn't the greatest writing, but Boom Studios took that and they took it into its own universe. And even today, people are saying that they wish that they could do an animated cartoon of the stories from Boom Studios.
and a lot
You
of
know,
Boom Studio stuff became canon actually to
yeah,
Rangers. Like think of Lord Dracon, the Psycho Rangers,
yeah.
all those stuff. That's all canon now because Boom Studios inspired that sort of stuff. So it's kind of cool to see that a comic book
Hell, I got two
studio.
different versions of Draken, and I have his power coin.
You know what I'm saying?
So
So
yeah,
that's so Brianna has an interesting question. She says, "Do you and Dave have any of the same figures? If you do, did you all pay the same price?" Um, We do. Dave and I do have a couple of the same figures. I don't think we have a lot of the same. I think we have when it comes to
we have a
Spider-Man.
handful.
When it comes to Spider-Man, Dave and I definitely have, and the X-Men stuff, we do have a fair amount of
Yeah,
crossover. I think the only thing that Dave and I did not get lucky on was when I found that they had
yeah. I'm
released
still
this.
keeping an eye on that changer.
I'm waiting
I
for the restock. I'm trying to keep
yeah,
eyes for you. But yeah, this when I saw this go up, this was
yeah,
Dave. Okay, so Dave got me jealous. This the funny story. Dave got me jealous because he found this for like $60. It was like on eBay, it was like $42, and then the shipping and everything else.
yeah,
I was like, oh, I was like, dude, that's dope. I was like, man, Big Bad Toys. Let's see if you have it. And they popped up, and it was like, bang, pre-order right now. I was like, boom, pre-ordered it right then and there. And then it was like 2 days later, they're like, it charged my debit card. And I was like, okay, not bad. And it was like 51 with the
yeah.
shipping
That's
and the
actually good.
tax.
That's good
So
because like right now there are people who are selling it for maybe
100.
40 plus plus the shipping. So
I've
you're
seen the
looking at
most.
60, 65 to 70. And then I heard you like on your stream, you even mentioned that you saw some going for about a ball 50.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
it's definitely a thing. So now I want at this point, again, I want to mention to everyone in the video description below, you're going to find all of Dre's links, all of his links in the video description below, including the stream that he did earlier today. And if you're not already subscribing to Dre, I want you to go and check out Dre of the Collector Safe Space. He's also the CSS, head of the CSS, which is Collector Safe Space. He is one half of the Outer Dimensions podcast, which will be returning in the future. Do not fret. Right now, both of our lives are kind of busy, so who knows? Maybe the fall, maybe late
I,
summer. Who knows? You
I
just
I'm
never
think
know.
I'm thinking we're gonna probably shoot for like September. I want to see. There's a lot of movies that are coming out this summer that I want to get a chance to like kind of digest, and there's a lot of stuff coming on Blu-ray, like Godzilla -1. I'm trying to find that Steelbook. So there is a lot of stuff. That Dave and I still talk movies all the time. It's just we haven't had a chance to really sit down and nail a date. But we are coming back this year, probably by the fall.
So I want you guys to check out those links. And also, I do have the links for the obligatory, of course, as I keep mentioning to everyone, Stream for the Cure, which Dre is donating towards. He actually is donating a very awesome box, which is one of the prizes.
Two
So
boxes.
please, if you're interested, guys, all you have to do to get into the giveaway is donate $10 to the Ride for Roswell. The direct donation link is in the video description below. One donation get you in on all the wheels, guys. I think we have about 6 or 7 wheels that we're doing. It's a $10 donation, get you in on those 7 wheels. The lowest retail amount for any of the boxes that we're giving away is $50. That's
Mhm.
no brainer right there. You can enter multiple times. And again, the description is in the details are in the description below. You make the donation, you take a screenshot of the page when you make the donation. You send that to me through either my email or my Instagram, which are already in the video description below. And you just have to send me your screen name and also your first and last name so we know who you are. And you're added to the wheel, guys. It is that simple. We have a Ghostbusters box that I'm giving away. We have NECA boxes, plural. It might be 3 or 4 boxes. We'll see. So we're looking at giving away possibly 3 or 4 NECA boxes. Now, we're not just talking like one little chintzy figure. We're talking about multiple prizes. Sadly, this year has been very tight for a lot of people financially. So this might be the last year for Stream for the Cure as you guys know it. We might do a different approach next year. But this year things have been a little bit tough and been kind of struggling to get some prizes, but we secured some very awesome prizes for you guys. You will not be disappointed. Duffman's asking, what are the prizes?
I could tell you 2 of the I'll be fair to tell you 2 of them. One is a Mythic Legion. It's it's the God, his name, I forgot what his name is. He's in a box already. Oh yeah, I already boxed up the prizes. So they're 2 separate boxes. The Mythic Legion himself, he goes for about $60. He's a rare figure to find. It's a yellow demon figure. He was never opened, completely brand new in the box. That's going to be retailing for, like we said, the lowest $50. I'm donating that. And then the second box that I am donating to this cause is a comic book box. It is a graphic novel comic book box. It retails for about $100. You're going to get 2 graphic novels sealed, and then you're going to get, or not sealed, one sealed, one's not. And then one of those was donated by my comic shop, and individual comic book issues that my comic shop and I curated together to donate to that. Now, that is from me, and I also donated enough money to get two spots on the wheel, but I'm not taking them. I already told Dave who I want those to go to, and they'll be gifted. Those were gifted already to those
Yep.
individuals. So that's what we did.
Okay. I am doing several NECA boxes. Now, there are going to be multiple NECA boxes, which are going to include Ninja Turtle 2-packs. I'm not telling you guys what Ninja Turtle 2-packs they are. You'll just have to, take a chance and see if you win to find out. As I said, we have several NECA boxes. I have a few NECA figures that have never been opened up. They're still sealed. They're going to be thrown into a box. We have a Ghostbusters box. I don't know. Maybe it's an Ecto one. Maybe it's figures. Maybe it's something else. You'll just have to stay tuned and find out, guys. So we have a lot of boxes. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be an open stream, at least 10 hours long. I might go further because ultimately it's going to be a hangout open stream for anybody and their grandmother to come on. You want to come on and hang out? You want to promote your channel, your business, whatever you want to do, it's going to be an open stream. However, we want to raise as much money as possible. No, stop it. Stop it. No.
That would be hella expensive.
I don't have that kind of money. However, next year, maybe I will build a prop and that will be raffled off.
That would be a hell of an awesome thing.
That might be the approach I take. Is maybe this next year I will 3D print some props. I don't know, maybe something like the orb from Ghostbusters Frozen Empire with its stands.
I would actually like that. That looks dope.
You see, we got the glyphs right here. You can see the glyphs on the orb itself. Maybe next year we'll do a giveaway like this. There's also a few new gadgets, equipment featured in Frozen Empire. Maybe I will include that in the giveaway for next year. But sadly, there's been a lot of negativity this past year that's affected many channels, and it's taken its toll on this fundraiser as well. So we're hoping next year is going to be a better year. I'm hoping 2024 is bigger and better, and looking forward to spring of 2025. This year, for the Ride for Roswell, I am aiming for the Canada route. There's a possibility I might not be doing the Canada route depending on fundraising this year. So what we're looking at is I may be doing a country route, which is a little bit further, maybe about 45, 46 miles long. So we're looking at possibly doing an alternate route if things don't work out. Depends on scheduling and everything for the ride for Roswell, but we're looking forward to it. Again, it's May 18th. Guys, it's May 7th. We're 11 days away. 11 days away. We're going to start at 10 a.m. Eastern that Saturday morning. Okay. 10 a.m. Eastern that Saturday morning is when we're doing it. Now, if you want to donate, but you don't want to be in the giveaways, you don't have to. You can donate as many times as you want to the Ride for Roswell. But for every $10 you donate, that can earn you an extra name, an extra spot on the wheel. You know, if John Smith donates $30, well, that's 3 entries on each of the wheels. It's a no-brainer, guys. You know, you love hearing me say that, don't you? Dave, can you print some? Let's see. What was that? Can I print some 1/6 scale Predator and Animal skulls like Trophy Wall for Predator 2? If I get the files, then I'm sure I can. I may not be the best at painting them. Maybe you want to paint them yourself, but if I can find some STL files for those kinds of skulls, then yes, I could definitely 3D print it. I mean, the printer's right there. This thing is a beast. I love it. It allows me to print things so quickly and so detailed. It's not even funny. Literally, this orb right here, this is one solid piece, and I printed that off of the printer right there. It did that. I painted it, but I printed it too. So yeah, there's a lot of things that can be done with this printer. Yes, yeah, I would paint them. So yeah, if I'm gonna keep an eye out if I come across any like 1/6 scale, skulls or anything, then yeah, we can definitely do something for you, Duff. And we got Lax Sivrak popping into the chat,
Hey,
guys.
Lax.
It is normally I would keep on going, but I know it's getting a little late. Dre's a family man, so it's almost 9:30, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna cut things loose. I
Well,
want to thank.
I will say one thing because I did want to mention one thing. I
Yes.
did kind of sneak peek this earlier, telling people I wanted to talk about it. So you guys saw a lot of Sentai merchandise I've been purchasing and merchandise that I'm using for cosplay. Well, Dave has called me it, and if you guys haven't gotten the hint, by now there will be um, a new channel spawning specifically centered on Sentai tokusatsu universe stuff. My level of interest reviewing the shows, comics, manga, props, action figures, so on and so forth.
Sorry. Some,
Dave knows
something
that
was
I have,
popping up.
yeah, Dave has my opening already made. I'm in the process of getting other things designed. So that's the big thing. Now I do see that Bree did want to ask me to tie this in. What's my channel all about? So the collector safe space was started due to the fact that the community was so toxic that I was mistreated, and it really played a very big weight on my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And I was about ready to quit YouTube and be done. But Dave, Colin, Aaron, and several other YouTubers and family members came to me and were like, don't quit what you love. And I created a safe haven with them to be not toxic, not bad, and it's to promote community. It's to promote how we love the toys, but could love the fact that it brings people together.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dave is watching more Power Rangers, or I should say more Sentai stuff,
Yes.
not because I send it to him, but because he's like, yo, I'm interested. And I'm more interested in Ghostbusters because I see Dave's passion for it, and he's got me interested in a cosplay. So it's this, look at that symbiosis right there. Just in the two of us being as close as we are, we're able to share our passions like that. And it's such a cool feeling. And, you know, I think that we needed a group like that. And there's other guys out there like Real Batman. I love him to death.
Yes.
Big shout out to you, brother.
RB is great.
You're effing amazing, and I love what you do. Cold Bane Games. another great YouTube channel that you see me and Dave play on their shows, and
Yeah.
Britterbug Gaming. That's where I met Bree. That's where I met Dave. That's where I met
Yep.
Aaron. That's where I met so many, Captain Spaulding. I met Blue Sasquatch. So many great guys and girls that are just so caring and endearing themselves to this community, that we've done stuff for each other outside of the community as well as inside the community. And that's what the safe space is all about.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I want to keep the creator safe space just about that stuff. So when I was talking with Dave and he saw how my interest is about Sentai and how I was starting to recollect more, he reached out to me and was like, Dre, you need to make a channel. So the channel will be, I'll post the name of the channel soon. We have a name for it, obviously. And I will be up and running by June the 1st. June the 1st will be the where I officially release the link and all the socials for it. And you guys, we will have a contest, and I'll give some cool Sentai merch away.
Yep.
So
And like
that's
Dre said, he already has the intro.
the logos is
So
already there too. Technically, I just gotta tweak the logo a little bit, but other than that, it's a couple of little things have to be done, but I have to create the YouTube page and the socials. But it's a done deal.
yeah, Bree added, those who are threatening Dre, you were scum. If you don't like their content, then don't watch them. But you are missing out on amazing deals and figures. Well, Bree, you don't know this, but it wasn't just Dre. There were other people that you know of as well. We were not going to go into that on this stream because we're being positive here. But I will say this Tuesday night stream, Tuesday Night Talks, is for anyone and everyone to come on. If you have a channel, if you have content, maybe you're doing a fundraiser you want to talk about, that is what this is for. Okay. If you have Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, you want to promote whatever content you're making, you have an Etsy store that you're launching, come on to the channel. Tuesday Night Talks is going to be for anyone and everyone to come on. Okay. All you have to do is reach out to me through my socials, either Dave's Dimension 78 at gmail.com or Dave's _Dimension. That's all you have to do is reach out. Send me your logo, your social links. We'll post them just like I have Dre's in the chat below, in the video description below, I should say. That's all you have to do. Let's just here. Awesome. Can't wait for it, Dre. You don't have to yell at us. Jesus. See all those caps?
I love it.
That's what you get for the Maven of Madness.
It's excitement.
Did you see my IG post stuff? Had 2 snakes on there after I opened a I swear, Lack is a character within a character within a character within a character. I swear, Lack Sivrak is like the real. He's like the more like the wilderness version of Danny McBride. You know, I swear, like Lack should get his own movie, his own TV show. I swear to God, The Adventures of Lack Sivrak. I'm saying, make it happen, Lack. But like I said, guys, every Tuesday it's going to be, not every episode is going to be like we were talking tonight. We might be talking news. We might be talking movies some weeks, It depends on who the guest is. Now, sure, me and Dre, we could have talked movies and entertainment news the entire stream, but this is not the Outer Dimensions podcast. So that's why we weren't doing this. But this was about featuring him, featuring his content, featuring who he is. That's why we talked about his time as an educator, his approach to it, his passion for comics, Sentai, and action figures, and of course his family. And like he said, he and I met through, it was a thing that used to happen every couple months, and eventually we're going to be bringing it back ourselves because we have hosted it ourselves independently. There was a mental health stream. Originally, it was geared towards men's mental health because there's that stigma, that kind of, what's a good way to put it, that kind of archaic ideology that men have to be tough, men have to hold and bottle everything in. That can lead to more aggression and more self-destruction. So the men's mental health stream was something where I came on, Sleeping came on. We had a lot of other people who were a bigger part of our toy community. Some people have drifted away. I haven't mentioned those people, and I'm not. But some people have drifted away from that. and that's their choice. But we're still keeping the spirit alive. Men's mental health doesn't just have to be around October, September. It can be any time of year. Just like, you have this month is so and so Heritage Month. No, let's keep everything year round. If any of you ever need to talk to anyone, Dre's here, I'm here. There are so many other people who are here, and it's not just for the male collectors out there. Any female viewers, if you're having a difficult time, you can always reach out to anyone. Okay? It's worse to keep things bottled up. It's worse to let things fester inside. You don't have to. Okay?
And I
Mental
did
health
mention,
goes for everyone.
and I did mention this earlier. I will talk to Dave because I would like to try to schedule something soon before the end of this month, so that way we can at least honor mental health awareness this month, because this is mental health awareness month. It's
Mhm.
also Asian American Pacific Islander month, which I will be doing something for that on this channel as well. I'm big about cultural awareness, and I love this stuff, so we will be doing something about that as well, on my channel. But I Dave and I will be talking about co-hosting a mental health awareness panel again, and if you are interested, please reach out to Dave or myself. We'll try to coordinate dates. Obviously, the 18th, and the week after that is Memorial Day. So those would be 2 weekends we're not going to be available. But maybe in the week, not this weekend, but maybe next weekend, we can talk about planning something. So we'll get something on the books, and it'll probably, like I said, for me,
We'll
it'd be
we'll
a
see
Sunday.
about the weekend of the 18th. There might be something going on that Saturday.
Exactly.
Just
We
saying.
yeah.
Just saying.
We'll see.
But like Dre says, I mean, June is going to be a very crazy, psychotic month. Every weekend, I'm pretty much out of town and running around doing things.
Graduation,
I
Father's
have
Day,
I
your
have a
birthday.
graduation to go to. I have New York City. I also have the ride for Roswell, and I also have Nickel City Con, Buffalo, New York. So we have a lot of great stuff, a lot of crazy stuff going on. But guys, please check out all the links in the video description below. Um, and please stay tuned to the Collector Safe Space for his late lunches, late brunches if you want, or
3 to
early
4,
dinners. No,
3 to
second
4,
breakfast,
second
second
breakfast is
third breakfast. There you go.
exactly.
So
Not
yeah,
first lunch.
second. How about second lunch? What do you mean? Want some biscuits and gravy? I mean, yeah, there's a lot you can do. Like you see, Dre is heavily into Sentai. Stay tuned for the Sentai Sensei. He'll be coming soon, and I think you guys, I might be a little bit biased, but I think you might like his intro.
Oh, I completely fell in love with it the first time I
I
saw
mean,
it. So
I could play it right now, but I'll behave.
no, we gotta hold off. We gotta save that for the premiere on June the 1st. That's when
June
we're
the
gonna set
1st.
it to
There you go.
premiere.
But guys, let's see here. Been meaning to stream with you, Dave. I've been getting the Cubs these last few Tuesdays, and family comes first always. It's not a problem. Just you can always email me, Lack, or message me on Instagram or whatever. Just let me know, and we'll get all your links up, and we'll have you on one week. Like I said, each week I want to have a guest come on each week. So anyone out there who's watching this, even if you don't have a YouTube channel, if you're someone who's a collector, maybe you're someone who has an Instagram or Facebook and you want to promote something yourself, that's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. Behave myself? I'll never. Dave's mentioned the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme. And of course, your base now for toys, tech, and talk. So we're always going to be anywhere and everywhere. Again, also, I like to take a moment to thank every one of you crazy dimensioners, your rifters, whatever you want to call yourselves. You guys, you freaking killed it this past weekend. You guys took me to 2,200. I'm nowhere near close to being monetized, but you guys getting me to that number without me asking, you guys are you're just blowing it out of the water. It means more than you can possibly know. But what means even more is those who have been sharing the links for Ride for Roswell and Stream for the Cure. Dre, um, Duff Man, anyone who's been mentioning it, someone we haven't seen in the chat tonight, Rolando, who's always sharing it all over the place, the multiversal moderator. I want to thank him. But there's one person who's been pushing it like it was his own event, like it was his bread and butter, and that's Archer, nerd affiliated. He has been mentioning it on multiple live streams. He's just been mentioning it everywhere. I want to thank Archer. You're family, man. You are helping out this cause. This isn't just a cancer fundraiser. This is something I've been doing for the past couple of years. My mother lived with skin cancer for a number of years. My father had passed away, and we found out he had cancer. And I have a cousin who is battling this right now. So I want to thank everyone for coming on. And please don't forget to check out all the links in the video description below. Check out Dre of the Collector Safe Space. Stay tuned to him. All of his socials are going to remain the same. The channel link is going to remain the same. Check out his latest stream. But of course, guys, I want to thank everyone for popping through. Let's just check these last ones. Maybe you just want to hang out with the cool kids. Yeah, sometimes. Congrats, Dave, from Fig Fever. Thank you, Fig. Congrats on a milestone from Mega Demon. Thank you, Lack. And guys, you know what I'm going to say. I say it every single time. I want you guys to keep on busting. And I will always catch you on the flip side. So take care, guys.